So do y'all kind of sometimes clash with the way y'all chastise y'all kids?
Absolutely.
I need to teach my Will because he just like that.
Like, look, now, the next 3 times, my 4th, I'm going to this guy here. By the 5th, I'm turning up.
Hey guys, and welcome to Pretty Lips Talk episode 5. We're getting there for the season. So, today I have special guests again. My beautiful sister,
It's me.
and her husband.
Oh, the mic.
Big
You gotta
one.
talk.
Yeah, y'all there.
It's Queen. What's that? Because we about to be most. Look, I'm about to shake it out.
Okay.
We about to show them how this shit get done. 'Cause, like,
Yeah, y'all can relax.
girl. We're
Relax,
relaxed.
son. Yeah, like relax. It's okay. So today we're here to talk about them. They previously made 10 years of marriage. Right or wrong?
Wrong.
9? Oh yeah, y'all. It's 9 years. It's
Yeah, she
9
feel
years
mad.
to the
Yeah,
marriage.
she don't
Yeah,
know
she
how
The
to
feel
big
mad.
thing's supposed to be yes. It's 9 years of marriage, right? But how long y'all been dating? Huh? What y'all say?
A long time.
Okay.
Long enough. Something like that.
Okay.
Something like that.
So I think you guys are my first married couple here. And we just gonna get in it a little bit, just a little bit. So what's y'all dating history and everything? Like, why y'all looking stuck?
Let's take the shot first.
Why is your shot like halfway full?
Okay.
Like mine.
Well, give us
I
a
have
grip,
pulled a
Will.
little bit of mine than yours when you wasn't looking.
I'll take it.
Okay.
Hold on. Y'all know I don't be drinking this liquor. All right, what was the question?
So what's y'all dating history like? What happened? How it happened? Where it happened? What's the tea?
So, we met in school, right? We went to TF North. Shout out to the meteors. One day we were like, it was our junior year. We were in like the computer lab, and he was filling me a day. And it was a good friend of ours, Dominique Brown, who, her and Will are like brother and sister, whatever. And so he was telling her, whatever. She introduced us, and the rest is history.
The rest is history.
But at the time, I did not pursue. Let me disclaimer. I did not pursue him at the time. We were just friends because
Will is looking like that's a lie.
I did not pursue him.
So you weren't looking at me in class?
I was looking. There's a difference.
all-
There's a difference from just looking at people and pursuing
Okay,
them.
yeah, that's true.
Because
But your eyes was like,
my eyes was looking like,
It was
don't
doing something.
you
It was
a
doing
married man,
something.
but your eyes still work, right?
but it wasn't doing.
And
your
I'm a
eyes.
married one, my eyes still work. The problem
He
comes
said, "What done with
in
your eyes?"
when
It
you
wasn't
start
doing that.
acting on stuff, and there's nothing wrong with looking. Nothing.
Okay.
Because I was looking, but I did not pursue him
Okay.
Until
until after.
You got to my locker.
See,
Yeah.
now you about to cut up for these damn because that ain't true either.
I don't know what to believe. Okay, so going further. So of course, Big Will, you asked Quenisha to marry you. So at what point did you
fast
feel
forward.
like?
She don't want to know the
No,
how
we
we
gonna
got to the marriage.
we gonna get to that. We gonna get to that, baby. We gonna get to that.
Okay.
So at what point did you feel like you wanted Quenisha to be your wife? Like, when did you feel like you knew that
I
kind
put
of?
that thing on.
Bitch, I know you lying. Hold on, how you cut? How you cut? He don't know.
I ain't gonna lie. God told me though, really. When I was like I remember we was kicking it
Lord. Oh,
at y'all mama crib, and like we was sitting on the couch,
Can
we was
the mic
vibing or
there?
whatever. We was vibing or whatever, and I was looking at it, and I just heard it. But you know, and like moving forward, like years later, I made it happen.
So
Oh,
God
so you
told
heard
that?
it? Wait,
Yeah,
you
for
heard it
sure.
before time, like, and then you said like years later.
Yeah.
Because we were literally so we weren't dating at this time, but we were like, or I was at least 17, and he did tell me like I was gonna be his wife. Like one day we was on the phone, and like I'm like, boy, please, like, get your ass, boy, what, you know, it kind of blew him off. And yeah, I don't know. Shit.
Lord Jesus.
You can say like it was like that movie Enough. He's a persistent man, you know,
Okay, so
or a man
Did
who
you
don't
feel
mind
like-
working for what he want. I'll say.
because so Quenisha just made the statement like, oh, you fast forward and everything. So no, I really didn't fast forward. I wanted to get to that point to go back, like, so you didn't feel like nothing in the past had blocked it in your mind, like, oh, I shouldn't really marry her, because I know y'all had issues, which everybody do, you know, but it's just like nothing was like, yeah, fuck her, like I'm done with this, or you never got to a point like that. Well, of course you didn't, because now you're still here married, so you know, but like she said, she was 17 when you made the statement, but you didn't make the statement but you didn't really go through with the proposal until like years later. So do you feel like during that period, I mean, because I know what was going on, I don't know what whoever else know, but do you feel like during that period it was ever a time where you doubted the marriage? Like, yeah, nah, this ain't gonna be it?
No, that never happened. No.
Mm-hmm.
And if I could add, like, you know, we're always like, I think one of the reasons like people kind of vibe with us or even ask like relationship stuff, I feel like because we're always transparent about the situation, we'll never be a couple that walks around like, oh,
It's just bliss.
you know,
Yeah.
I say all this time, it's hard work, right? So I will say, even with us getting up to the point of marriage, like that roller coaster we went through, we were young, right? We're young, we're trying to be young people living, and then of course we became parents young shortly thereafter. I will say, like, Will was for the streets though, like, and so anything that kind of popped off as far as my behavior went,
So you
It was a
reacting.
response.
It was a response to a reaction.
it was a
Yeah, I mean,
response.
to an action.
So I do feel like I honestly was waiting on his answer for that to see if things had shifted. I wasn't, and one thing I don't like when men will sit and say like, women, oh, she acting crazy, or she cutting up, or she this, or he's that. I do feel like
failing to take accountability for
you
their
have to
actions.
take
Yeah.
accountability. Like most times when things or people are responding a certain way is because of a specific or certain action that you know you put out there. And like with me, I love hard. It took a long time for me to like get in a place where I was with Will as far as like loving him, because I knew what he was about, right? Like Will was dating a lot of chicks, and that was his thing, you know, like do you, and which was why I delayed on me joining that relationship with him. But it's like once I got there and you got me to a point where now I'm like I'm feeling you in that way, and then you start acting crazy with my feelings, I have to act crazy with you.
Okay, so you're saying that, but let me ask you this. So at that time, it was approximately under the age of 25.
Absolutely.
Now that it's like 10 plus years later, maybe,
Uh-huh.
do you still feel like you would react possibly if the situation arises, the same exact scenario? Do you feel like your reaction would still be the same response?
Not today. Being, I'm about to be 36, and how many days? However many, 5 days. I think I've learned so much over the course of the years, and like right now, I'm about happiness, right? I'm at a place now, like now don't get me wrong in me saying this, like will my feelings be hurt if something was to transpire? Absolutely. I'm human. Will I cut up or act a fool? Not the way I used to, no. But it will be. I'm just not that person. Like I'm at a place in life right now that like my happiness is what matters most. The happiness, like his happiness matters most. And I've said it before, I'll say it again, like if our relationship failed at this point, as long as we can walk away and be like we tried our best, I'm okay with that. Because ultimately, like, we're too old. The energy that we had then, or even the energy of the things that I presented then, girl, I'm not out here messing up this man's car. I'm not out here like rolling up. I'm just in a different headspace, and like I don't think I would respond. And I have 3 kids. I have a career, and I have things that I have going on, and so does he.
You've grown.
And so does he.
Yeah.
So it's like I wouldn't respond that way at all. Again, though, hurt, absolutely. Cussing, fussing, probably throwing a few things, absolutely. But at this point, I'm okay with the breakaway because ultimately, I fuck with Will though. Like beyond the marriage point of things, like he's a genuine person.
Yeah.
Like that's my dog. So it's like, God forbid if we were to part, I would still want a friendship with him. Because we're cool people like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I vibe with him on that level. So, I would still want a friendship with him, especially for the sake of our children, too. Because no matter if we're apart or not, like, they're watching. They're watching. And we have to be that example. Like, I know even when Will's parents separated, in the moment, they couldn't be in that same space with one another. But, like, I watched those 2 people grow. And we talking about we didn't have to have different family functions because they couldn't be in the same room with one another or any, like, it was the point we were all sitting at the same table together vibing. You know what I'm saying? And of course that came with growth. Came with time and growth. And they did
so let me
that
ask
for
you
the
this.
sake of their
Let me
kids.
ask you this. So at any point do you feel like it came with growth, or is it just we both got a spouse now, so let's X, Y, and Z it?
No, I feel like, because I'm talking a lot.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, because I'm trying to be like, you know, some people be like, oh,
So
well, now
for
I got a
my-
man, so I could come around. Now you got a girl, so now you
No.
can come around. You know how people be flying.
From my perspective, naturally, men move on much quicker than women do. Naturally. I do feel like, you know, I would say for them, it came with growth. And it came with, you know, doing what they needed to do for their kids. Because if we're gonna say, like, on the reverse, my parents, you know what I'm saying? Like, my mom is, or our mom is about to, like been remarried 20 years. They're about to celebrate 20 years in what, a month and a half, 2 months? And to this day, like, daddy ain't fooling with that.
Shit be rocky.
You know what I'm saying? Daddy ain't fooling with that. Like, don't get me wrong, they have tried. Yes, I was about to say they both. Mama ain't innocent. Mama ain't innocent. Now don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but you gotta be understanding to the situation, because it's like nobody knows 100% what you went through.
Their business, right? And which is why I would never pressure that. But I'm just saying, like, just using those comparisons, because they both have, like, mama has a spouse clearly,
and
daddy has his
spouse,
women, you know, or whatever. So, but yet they still can't coexist with us, right? So I can't blame that on being like, oh, well, since you had your spouse, now I could come around because I have a spouse too. That didn't work like that for them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whereas it was like with Will's parents, you know, rest in peace, they were the most amazing. You know, they were able to come together eventually and be like, you know what, we have our kids, we're a family, like, and that's just what it is, and their spouses.
Okay, so Will, how did it make you feel like that your parents would come together? Because I'm not gonna lie to y'all, like, it really doesn't bother me that my parents don't come together. I know people,
I'm okay with it too.
No,
It's peaceful.
people. That's what I said. People do things for the sake of their children, but even though we're still their children, they look at us like we're children.
Cause you are.
We're grown, but it's just like, yeah.
You don't want them. You
This
don't want to see
ain't
them
it.
unhappy.
Yeah, you know, like, this ain't
it's a vibe
it.
killer.
Yeah,
It's a
for
vibe
fucking sure.
killer.
Yes, it's a vibe killer. Like, you got to be on this side of the town with dad. You got to be on this side of the town with mama. So, like, with your parents being able to coexist, like, do you feel like that was a little more cool for y'all, or peaceful for you and your siblings, or like, how do you feel like that made you feel in a sense?
I mean, it definitely made me feel good. Despite the fact it really messed with us, like when our parents like split. I mean, I was getting into it with my dad, like I think we fell out and didn't talk for like a whole year. Because of things that I didn't understand.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
I mean, like, he would tell me, like, you know, Will, you don't understand, just stay out of it. But, you know, like, my mindset as a teenager at the time, I wasn't trying to hear that. You know, all I see was my mom crying on, you know, my mom's side or whatever. You know, and I ain't get that.
But see, you see that kind of shit too when it be like, let's do this for the kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, that kind of stuff you also see too. And that's what I mean. I asked on the last podcast with Health, like, you know, your kid, cause shit, you know what kind of family we grew up in, like the household. Granted, my daddy is an amazing father, but when it came to his wife, baby, he wasn't nothing nice. But it's just like, you know, people do things for the sake of their children. And truth be told, if it was me, like, even as an adult that I am today, I really don't want either one of my parents to do anything for the sake of me. Because I know that makes both of them unhappy. Just from me knowing what happened in their relationship, at the end of the day, it makes both of them unhappy. So I really don't care for them to do, like, stuff for the sake of me. You know, because at the end of the day, shit, I'm grown. Like, I'm going to find my own happiness. I'm going to branch off. I'm going to do whatever I want to do. And then that kind of, you have kids, so it kind of triggers off to, like, how you respond with your wife in front of your boys. You know what I'm saying? Like, so how does that, well, you said it made you feel happy and everything, but it's just like, do you feel like if it was ever a point like you would have rather it be different or what?
For sure. I mean, I would definitely want it to be different. I definitely hate the fact that we kind of all missed out on, like, having that, all of our family together in one house.
Yeah.
You know, something like that. But that hurts. Yeah.
So with that being said, like, but do that still, well, let me ask you this. Do you feel like at the end of the day, your dad was like a good husband, or like just knowing what you know? Like you being a husband, comparing your dad as a husband.
I definitely think my dad was a good husband. He was a good father. He had his flaws.
Yeah.
He made bad choices, but he also made a lot of good choices.
Yeah, because I was about to say, baby, your daddy was a good man. Well, in my eyes, that's the part I seen of him. You know, he was a great man.
Human being, for real.
And one thing I will say, he was very family oriented.
Yeah.
I will say, like, I don't know what happened with him, but he was a good man. Like, when it really came to his family and stuff. But okay, so do y'all feel like y'all parents' relationships have an effect on y'all relationship?
For sure, yeah.
Yeah?
I do. I think one thing I hated, like, growing up in the house with mama and daddy was, like, daddy yelled a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Daddy yelled a lot.
Hold on, because you yell a
That's
lot
what I was
too.
about to say.
Oh, okay.
This is me taking accountability.
Okay, yeah, take that accountability.
And it's like, that's one thing that I carried over to my household that is one of the things that I have spoken on before, so it's no secret to Will. One of the things that I hate that I do and work daily to like change, because in my mind it's like, oh, well, I don't care to whoop my kids, so I'm gonna just yell at them and try to get them to act right. Whereas the yelling is a no-go, you know, as well. So that is something that I do try to work on, because it is something that I highly dislike about my parenting, because I know how much I hated it coming up as a kid. And honestly, like, I am a parent who sits and talks with my children. I do ask my kids how they think I'm doing as a mom. That's also important to me. That doesn't mean that a lot of my techniques or, you know, whatever will change, but it does give me insight of how my children view me. And yes, some of those things that I do feel are compromisable, if that's a word, I am willing to do that to make life, you know, better for us all, because I don't want them, you know, thinking ill of me by the way of parenting. Because a lot of us, we take on parenting skills too from parents. Or, you know, my husband say all the time, oh, well, I got my ass whooped with an extension cord or something like this, which, you know, I would never whoop my kids. I don't whoop my kids, you know? So it's like, just because some of the skills or some of the things that our parents did when we were coming up as children, you know, our parents did them, that doesn't mean that that was necessarily the right way of parenting. And I
ain't
agree.
No parent, but I feel like it's.
And I agree with that. I agree with that too.
It typically depends on your
But there are some things that we very much so know that we can go without doing. So again, and like when coming up, people would say all the time, children are to be seen and not heard. I highly disagree with that. I highly disagree with that. And I disagree with it too, because I feel like that's why you get, you know, so many children who are like mentally battling things, because they feel like they can't go to their parents and talk to them about it, or they can't go to, you know, whatever adult and talk to them about it because of this, you know, whatever saying. And it's like, I do believe children should be heard. They do have a voice, you know, and I tell my children all the time, you can speak your voice, you need to respectfully.
But I think that's where
respectfully.
That's why I think the conflict.
It's all about the delivery of things.
Yeah.
But you can definitely, you know, if you feel in a way, because baby, that teenager I have is my child.
But I feel like it goes hand in hand. Again, I'm no parent, but I've never really heard children are to be. I heard that about women are really to be seen and not heard. I heard that about women.
Children, baby.
But even with children, I feel like coming up now as an adult, I'm not gonna lie, just about all my friends have children. But I feel like even if I'm just conversing with them and their child butts in, I hate it.
Well,
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like it's stipulations to the. Now, when you just want to express yourself, like, oh, I feel like X, Y, and Z, you know, because even to a friend of mine, she told me that she went to therapy and she expressed to the therapist like some stuff with her and her dad. But then the therapist hit her with, but do you feel like you could have been a better daughter? You know, like putting accountability on her.
That does work hand in hand.
It works hand in hand.
Especially with this generation of children. They act like they're not supposed to respond.
They're not supposed to
them acting a fool.
Yes.
It's like, okay, you're going up in here telling your teacher that, you know, you got smacked in the back, but it's like, okay, what was the reason? I had the same sit down, you know, with one of my scholars. Like, you don't want, you know, so and so to say X, Y, Z. Well, what did she do, or what did she ask of you, or what did you do?
You're right.
And then, you know, you mentioned it's like, oh, okay, so it's making sense. It's like, well, my own kid, I asked you to take out the garbage how many times? A lot. And then before I get crazy, who do I go to? Who do I go to?
He gonna say, well, quit. He don't have to take out the garbage right now.
And then I say what? Well, I asked. And he know. I'll be like, well, I asked this boy how many times to take out the garbage, and he's still laying up in there. And you know, this is the cool parent, the very reserved, laid back, so the chaos ain't gonna come from him. But you know, it's like before I get to acting crazy, it's levels to it now. Like, look, now I done asked 3 times, my 4th, I'm going to this guy here. By the 5th, I'm turning up. But it's like, you know.
So, dude, like, with y'all being married, dude, because y'all clearly grew up in 2 different households, you know. So, do y'all kind of sometimes clash with the way y'all chastise y'all kids?
Absolutely.
Or what? I need the tea from Will because he just like, dang. He keep on laughing like, dang. Oh, my goodness. So, it's like y'all clash sometimes. Like, what do you feel as a parent, Will? Like, what should you do, you know, in response when your damn child ain't listening? Because I ain't gonna lie to you, my mom ain't talked to us 3, 4, 5 times. Baby, it was that first time that she thought you rolled your eyes or you smacked your lips or you stomped your feet. She was after your ass, bro. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. You know, even with punishment, though, because I ain't gonna lie, like, punishment be light as hell. Like, when me and Devin was sneaking and geeking, I was punished for, 2 fucking summers, bro. Imagine that. Like, imagine that. Like, and we didn't have cell phones. Me and Devin used to have to write letters to each other. Like, that's how deep it went. Like, Mom was like, I couldn't go outside. I couldn't do this. I used to have to go to work with her, go to school with her, because I had got expelled from school. But my grades, of course, I was always an honor student, kept me afloat. So they was like, you could graduate with the grades you got. And of course, I graduated. But yeah, like, it was like I was not out of her fucking sight. And it's just like, I don't even know if that's good parenting or I don't know if that's bad. Because, you know, some people be like, go give your kid privacy. Because Troy Boyd, the other day he said, Quenisha said I went through Will's phone and I seen messages she reading the messages between him and a cousin, not him and the girls, him and Janila. And he was like, my mom ain't never go through my phone. And I said, well, that's what the fuck the problem is. Probably. Like, she ain't never go through your phone.
My brother is not here to defend himself.
But I said that shit. Quenisha, you know I told him that. I said,
you said that, but my brother is not here. Let's leave him out of this. There are people watching.
Bruh, I'm just saying, like,
I got your back.
Parenting is different. And that's what I'm saying. Sure. Like, so
Will is definitely the more reserved parent.
Because he used to do shit. But when do you feel like you have to be? Because truth be told, Lil Will overstand this girl now. So, you know, I seen a video on TikTok and the daddy was shorter than the son. And the son said, hold up, like, I'm taller than you now. I ain't got to listen to shit you say. And what was the situation? He asked him to take the garbage out. And the son kept saying, he gonna do it. Then the son started sizing the daddy up.
Yeah, lies.
And truth be told, the daddy ended up taking out the trash. But yeah, so how do you feel like y'all?
Wait.
The daddy ended up taking, bro. I can show you the TikTok. I can show you the TikTok, bro. Like, yes, the daddy ended because the son, like, I ain't gotta listen to shit you say, bro. Like, I'm bigger than you now.
I would have put his ass in the trash. For real.
But at what point do you be feeling like you have to step in, like, or do you ever feel like I gotta protect my wife over these boys? Like, how do you get to that?
For sure. I mean, if he get out of his body, I mean, I'm definitely I'm gonna step up. If I hear that bass in his voice, I'm gonna step up and say something. But I mean, you know, Quenisha, like when she get to it, like
she be teed up.
She be teed for real.
I hold my own.
She say, line their ass up.
All she gotta do is just say, hey, hit him. I'm gonna hit him.
Okay, but do that bother you that she physically hits or what?
It does bother me sometimes, like when she kind of tee up. Cause sometimes I feel like she be teeing up when it don't really
be necessary.
It ain't necessary.
But how is it not necessary? Like the girl just said she told this boy 3 times.
Like, I mean, I'm the type of father, like, I want to talk to my son. I want to understand him. I want him to use his mind. I want him to think. I want him to, like, be comfortable, like, coming to me, talking to me about things, but also, like, I always have that, it's always there, like, respect, right? And it's like, just thinking back when I was a kid, I mean, like, when my dad came to me asking me to take out the trash, I didn't always feel like taking out the trash. Like, he could have came to me and I was in the middle of something, and I'm like, and to me it's like really important, but to him, he don't give a damn, right? So I try to have a little understanding, but like, I don't know, you got a certain time limit too. If we tell you to do something and there's too much time went by, and we got to go double up on you, like, it's a problem. Like, I'm gonna give you a little grace, a little time, because I understand, like, you got a life, like, you got things that's supporting you. You may be doing stuff. It's cool. Like, I don't always want you to just, like, you ain't in the army or nothing. Like, I ain't a sergeant. Or, you a soldier. And when I tell you to do something, you got to get up. I don't want to treat them like that.
So did your parents treat you like that? Because truth be told, it's like, again, it's a new day and age with these children. So it just be like, some things that our parents did, they should have been under the jail. You know what I'm saying? But it's like now parents are more timid. They're more trying to be understanding and talking to their kids and everything. But it's just like, bro, I shouldn't have to talk. You ain't that fucking busy. Like, you're 14, you ain't that busy.
If too much time go by and it ain't done, like, now you just blowing us off now, And that's when it become a problem. And a lot of times she just, like, get to it, like.
So Quenisha more one and done. Like, I got one time and that's it. I'm finna tee up on y'all. Like.
For sure, yeah.
Okay. So do that bother you that he's more relaxed in a sense? Well, no, because that kind of give y'all a balance.
It gives us balance.
Yeah.
I feel like, that's why sometimes too, I need that, like, okay, am I doing too much? Or, like, is he doing too much? So sometimes I do put him right in the middle. So whose fault is this right now? Because I'm about to slap your kid 3 times backwards. But before I do it, I need to know, like, who really in the wrong right now. So I do put him in the middle a lot. Sometimes, I've learned over the years to kind of stay in my lane, because he is more of the, I want to sit and talk with him. And while I'm more like, how many damn conversations you need to have?
Yeah.
But I try not to step on his toes with that and let him parent his way. And then, of course, I parent my way, and then he won't get in my lane unless I invite him.
I think I'm more like that because my dad used to, like, talk to us a lot, like, and I feel like it's
your mom was the more, like, physical,
because my mother-in-law, God rest her soul, will tell me in a minute a good ass whooping will keep him from going to hell. And guess what?
So far they not going to hell.
Ass whoopings they don't get. That's just what it is. I'm honest. That's what she would tell me. Quinny, a good ass whooping to keep him from. But she played both sides of the fence too, because it's her grandkids.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
When I whoop their ass, then she'll be well.
Yeah.
I didn't know you was gonna do it for real.
That'd be me.
You hit a point. You ain't play both sides of the fence. You ain't play both sides with your kids. You whooped their ass.
Talking about what that was different.
But Big Troy, he was. I've sat on the couch with him many times, talking my ears off. Yeah. He was more of a talker, Well,
that's cool. Like I said, it still gives the balance.
All right,
so let's speak into the right. That's what I said. So let's get to the finances here. So y'all know, I don't know how y'all know if y'all know. No, I'm not talking about y'all money like what you got in the bank right now. But What y'all think about this deal with this 50-50 shit? Like, how does this 50-50 play out for y'all?
I'm gonna let Will speak on that first.
Somebody I pay out.
You know, so the conversations of
social media has been like, your girl or your wife shouldn't have to go 50-50 because that makes her less submissive and everything else. Like, if she's fronting her 50%, like, y'all basically equal. So what you think about that?
You want me to talk to you first? I don't believe in none of that shit, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm gonna take care of my family. That's just how I was raised.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's just how I was raised. I'm gonna take care of my family.
So has there ever been a point where you and Quenisha kind of went 50-50, or do you do like 70-30, or do you do 100, she do 0?
That shit in our business.
That part. Because Big Will, let me know what's happening around this motherfucker. Don't be ashamed, brother-in-law. Tell me what's going on.
I mean, I take care of my business. I take care of everything. And we work together. I mean, you know.
Okay, so you're being vague. So it's like, whatever you can
Would
do,
you answer for this lady?
you could do.
You
but
paying
it's
the
just,
bills or not?
Yes.
and that's okay. See, but that's okay because that's what works for y'all.
So
It hasn't. I'm sure it probably hasn't
I'm about to
always
go there,
been
yeah.
like that, though. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? Because I feel like some people get it misconstrued. Like, it's okay to go 50-50. It's okay to go 30-70. It's okay to do whatever you have to do because at some point somebody gonna always have to carry the most weight. But then it's like the roles should eventually reverse, or it should be balanced out, or even too honestly, whatever works for y'all.
I mean,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
like, I don't think of it like that. Like, to me, like, I want to raise my family up to where like they all got that kind of mentality, to where we not just focusing on like individual income. Like, I want them to make decisions for like the next generation. You know what I'm saying? Like, not. I think that's selfish, if you ask me. Like, if you just trying to get an income just for yourself, like, I know when I get out and I grind every day, I'm not just trying to get money for myself. I'm trying to get money for my whole family. Like, for my wife, for my kids, for my sisters, for my brothers, for my friends. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to, like, I'm going out, you know, not just trying to get money, but I'm going out trying to get knowledge. I'm trying to get wisdom that I can come back and I can share with my family, and we all can
Eat off the plate, yeah.
Yeah, we all can help each other. You know, like, build something. You know, so that's just how I think.
But hold on, y'all, because I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I have 2 amazing ass brother-in-laws, bro, because he's saying that and he's really not lying. Because it's like, it's been plenty of times, like, I've seen a man take anybody from his family and really try to put them on a map. Whatever he see fits, or even if you come to him with like some sort of idea, i.e. like this podcast, you know, he gives me ideas all the time. He's sending me people, he's sending me this, he's telling me which direction to go. So I will honestly say he's not a selfish ass man, bro. Like, he's really one of these people that be trying to put everybody into motion so that everybody could be eaten, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's a real family man for you, because it ain't no selfishness. It ain't no crabs in a bucket kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all trying to eat. We all trying to survive. You know what I'm saying? And even too, however they split their finances, however you split your finances, like he said, at the end of the day, I'm really just trying to come and take care of my family. And the family could even be extended family. He gonna extend it. You know what I'm saying? So I will say he's definitely not telling no story about that shit.
I'll get my spill on it. So I think, like, I've been asked this question before. I've also been asked the question of, when you cook dinner or something like that, do you feed your husband first, or do you feed the kids?
Maybe we all eating at the same time.
I just feel like I'm just a person where I feel like at the end of the day, you're going to do, or I advise you to do what works for you in your household. I can be asked this same question 3 times backwards. I feel like ultimately you are going to do whatever you feel is comfortable for your house. Were we in a position where we split bills? Absolutely. Were we in a position where, you know, things were like the weight or one person felt overwhelmed and the other felt? Absolutely. But with growth and like a goal for Will has always been to hold everything down, whereas I'm still to this day, whenever he ready for me to jump back on the bandwagon and ride, I'm riding. Or like if with him taking care of whatever he takes care of, I still take care of what I take care of on my end, whether that's keeping the house together, keeping the kids together, taking care of Shy, you know, because my daughter needs her nails done, you know, whatever of that sense. I do feel like no matter the way of the contribution to the household, someone should still, or both parties should be still contributing to the household. And if you are in a relationship where you feel like, you know, oh well, if so and so is not bringing this or so, you know, you have to find that balance and you have to find what works for you. You can't allow social media or your friend's relationship or your cousin relationship to, you know, dictate how things are going to go in your relationship, because ultimately it's your relationship, it's your household. You know what I'm saying? Now granted, if you are a person, you know, your spouse is taking care of all of the bills and the groceries and the kids and cleaning up the house, and you like just bumming it out all day, like it's a problem. Or if you going to work, you know, y'all both bringing in an income, but you're not helping in no way, form, or fashion of any sort, like, yeah, that is a problem, you know, because some type of way you should still be pouring back into the household, you know. And I just feel like ultimately what I tell everybody, do what works for you in your house. Do what works for you in your house. I don't believe in that happy wife, happy life stuff. No.
Because everybody got to be happy.
Happy house. Everyone has to be happy in order for things to flow, you know, the way you want them to, right? And if it's like when Will ain't right, I'm not right. And I know it's because he carries so much. So when he off, I'm a little bit off. If we beefing, I'm a beef with him, but I still ain't right. You know what I'm saying? We'll be.
That's cool. That's cool.
But yeah, to answer that, I actually feel like that's very immature. If you ask me, I really do feel it's immature. And I feel like, you know, granted.
Well, I feel like that shit came about really because a lot of these young girls now, again, certain things ain't being taught in the household. So a lot of them just want these niggas like pretty much to buy them. And it's just like, but sometimes, my girl, you gonna have to carry that weight. You know what I'm saying? And you can't just see your man because he down. Because it's gonna eventually be a point where he's down. So you gotta be the one to step up.
And that's where it really get real too. Like, I feel like for certain people, when you really experience, you know, like trauma in a relationship, I do believe that is where, you know, and we're not talking not just trauma like, you know, oh, I don't even know what someone else would call it, but like with me, you know, going through the process of my husband losing his parents, that was traumatic for us all, you know. And it's like going through that, and I think like those are moments too where your spouse would really like find that extra value in you, because it's like when they're low, like, what you doing about that? Like, how are you helping, you know, like,
and it's unfortunate that females don't think in that.
It's a tough job, you know. It's a tough place to be in, you know, when you're trying to, like, you know, someone who's usually outgoing and usually doing this and usually doing that, and like you see their spirit is just low. Breaking, and it's like you're trying to find everything in every way to rebuild them, and you know, it's tough. It's tough, and especially when you're going through, you know, of course, that grieving process too. I feel like a lot of people look at relationships just like I hear people, you know, or we've had people in the past like, oh, our rich friends or our like, and these are people, they know nothing about our finances, they know nothing about, you know, our personals, but it's like just looking from the outside in. And if I could be real, like it was a time here we was broke.
Mm-hmm. I ain't gonna lie to you. Hold that thought, cause you know what? My coworker came over here. I don't even know what we was talking about, but he said something in the sense of, "Oh, I know how your people live. I could just look in their fucking driveway and see what they got going on."
Crazy.
I said, "I know you fucking lying."
It's crazy.
I said, "I know you lying. I know you lying, my boy." I promise y'all, he said that.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And I just feel like even, you know, with that too, like, bro, like, nobody know. And we talking about, just like you spoke on Will, being that person who, like, he'll try to put everybody on. Like, Will is that person who invests in himself, though. Like, we talking about he'll spend $3,000 to go fly somewhere for a business seminar if it's going, you know what I'm saying,
benefit him,
eventually
yeah,
down the line benefit his company and stuff that he's trying to do for himself. You know, like nobody's here when like he don't sleep. We researching and we up all night, you know what I'm saying, trying to figure out some next level shit, you know, so that he can be that ultimate goal of financially free, you know. But like the ins and the outs that comes with that, you know,
people just see the good part
yeah,
of it. They don't see the behind
like
the scenes. Like we losing sleep at night, we crying,
like
we
he's
praying.
working, man.
They
Yeah.
don't see the 10,000 hours.
No,
Yeah.
or the L's.
Yeah.
Cause we done lost some money.
You don't see the L.
Yeah.
The man, the Lord Jesus, it stresses me out. You know what I'm saying? Like, Lord, for real, like the L's that, you know what I'm saying? Like, and if I could be real, you know, like, even with our house, you know, I'll talk about it now. I've never felt the need to talk about it. But I mean, I could talk about it. It's no secret as far as family. But like, even when we made the decision to walk away from our house, that wasn't our house.
Yeah,
You know,
Sometimes you gotta look at that like that. Yeah.
was a difficult decision for us to make because, you know, things happened the day, before closing? 2 days before closing, which was my birthday, you know, and ultimately we made a decision to walk away from the deal because the deal ended up switching up on us last minute, you know, and we literally had to find somewhere to live in like a week or two's time. Literally. And just having a baby, you know, it's still COVID and like trying to figure out what the hell we gonna do because we done already told this landlord that we weren't gonna renew because, you know, we had already had, well, we didn't tell him why, but, you know, just knowing like, oh, we'll be closing on our house on this day, and we decided to walk away from that. And like, it stung bad, and Will even was willing to still make the sacrifice of putting all our savings down. You know, because I was hurt. I was so hurt by it. And that's when I had to be wise and like, yeah, hell no, I'm not letting you do that. Like, I'm not that pressed.
For you, it's
you know, that
you.
part.
It's
like,
gonna
I'm
work
not that
out.
pressed. Like, I'm crying. Yeah, I'm going to cry, you know, because it hurt. But ultimately, that wasn't our house. That's how I like to look at it, you know. And I'm okay with that. Like, I made peace with that, you know, situation or whatever. But it's like, I do get slightly annoyed because a lot of people, man, they look in or looking from that outside piece. They don't know, you know,
struggle part
like
of the shit.
stuff that we've been through, the stuff that we're going through even today. Like, it's not always, and I think I made a post about that some years ago.
People just look at the material things and be like, oh shit, they straight. You know what I'm saying?
And that's
like, yeah.
And that's not the case. Like, what
Yeah.
that mean? I'm fighting for my life right now. Like, we're fighting for our lives right now. You know?
Okay.
Like,
Yeah, so let me ask you this then. So y'all got married kind of young, right? So if y'all could give advice to anybody like trying to get married, whether young or old, like what advice would y'all get up, considering y'all almost at 10 years, even though y'all been dating way more than 10 years?
I'll let you have it first.
So you had that.
What advice? I would say if you're looking for every day, or if you're looking for your marriage to come without work, don't bother.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking for it to be easy, don't bother. It's very challenging, very, very hard. It's a lot of work. But ultimately, if you're doing it with the person who you know you can spend those days with, and you know that, ultimately that's your person, by all means, it's worth the sacrifice. Marriage is hard work. And if you're focused on, when he proposed, my ring wasn't big enough, or, he drives this kind of car, or his idea of a date is us going to get ice cream, you got it all wrong. Because it's like, now, baby, we had a date a couple of weeks ago. We rode to the frozen yogurt place, and it was like a 10-minute date, 20-minute, 30-minute maybe. It's like,
I only gave you 30 minutes, sister.
No, for real. We took a ride, didn't we? We took a ride to the frozen yogurt place, and we sat in the car, and we ate our yogurt outside of the place because it was raining. And we sat and we talked, we vibed to some R&B, and then we drove home. Literally, it was like, Jonte said the same thing, like 30 minutes. You got to get it in where you can get it in. And it's like, I do believe that, date nights are still very much so important. Spending time with your spouse, and you have to just find the time versus and one thing I know me and Will struggle with, because he works a lot, and like I said, he don't sleep. I'll literally have to go up in there and drag him out, or sometimes I fall asleep, and then by the time I'm waking up, he's just getting in bed. And it's like, you have to be set up for the ins and outs of all of that, because this shit is not easy. But it's rewarding when it's with the right person, and y'all both are putting in, an equal amount of work.
For sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I know one thing with me is like,
You gotta speak up, Will. I can't hear you.
Sorry. So I know, like, one thing with me, I've learned to really listen, and like, instead of like putting things like back on my wife, like, I internalize those things, I put it back on myself, and I kind of work on things like within myself, and I think about ways that I can become a better person, or I can, the things that she tell me that I'm not doing, I really just, if you can just learn how to listen to those kind of things, and instead of be so quick to, like,
so you good with like constructive criticism, like you good with that,
and like, look at yourself, like, how can I make myself better?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, like, you doing that, it can change a lot with the other person. Because, like, they'll see, like, man, like, they really listen and they really trying. Right? And I think, like, when I started doing that, like, it really helped a lot. So, like, if you take that kind of approach with your significant other, like, it'll go a long way.
It'll go a long way.
Keeping God first.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what I'm about to say. So how do y'all do it? Like, do y'all do therapy? Like couples, is that what it's called? Like couples therapy? Marriage therapy? What is it
we
called?
We haven't done no therapy since
counseling?
Since before we got married.
So we only did premarital counseling.
Okay,
we
that's what
haven't
it's called.
done
Premarital counseling
while married. However, we did join like a marriage community in which I show up more than Will. But that is, it's like just a group of married couples, and like we're sitting with two counselors virtually, and just discussing like certain dynamics or certain issues that may arise within a marriage. Pretty good. But outside of that, Do you think we need marriage counseling?
I mean, I think counseling is good for
Everybody,
For
honestly.
everybody.
That's
Shit.
not answering the question.
Yeah, I mean, I think counseling will be good for you and for you.
I think so too.
Mhm.
I think it, especially because, so I think we need it now more than we ever needed it in the past. And I'll just say simply because we've experienced some stuff like
Mhm.
within the last year
Yeah,
alone.
for sure.
Like life has just been lifing for us. And it's like trying to figure out a way to support one another and, you know, things that we're dealing with. It has been quite challenging. But I mean, we're doing what we need to do. We pray for one another often, uplift one another often. But counseling wouldn't be bad. I suggest it for anybody, you know.
Yeah.
If you feel like you've reached that point, I am all for, you know, yes, I do believe, I'm sorry, I am one of them people. If you get a divorce, if that's what bring you your peace, I'm not going to sit here and be like, I'm anti, you know.
Yeah.
I just believe, I feel like, you know, sometimes things,
what it
you
is.
know, like it just ultimately, like it ends in what it ends in. But I am also that person who will stand and say, like, before that should be the last resort. Like, you should definitely be one of those people, and you make sure you have done absolutely everything in your power, you know. But that works both ways.
Mhm.
Don't get it twisted. Everything in your power to make sure that you have done all that there was to do to make your marriage work. Because, you know.
So let me ask y'all this, a little off subject. I've heard a lot of people say, like, because they're married, life changed for them. So do y'all still have, like, friendships and shit? Like, do y'all still have friends, like, that's been friends since before the marriage, now that you're doing the marriage? Or, like, what's the tea with that? Because, you know, I done had people tell me, like, oh, I'm married, I can't do X, Y, and Z. You know what I'm saying?
So
Even though X, Y, and Z ain't even really nothing major. It's just, oh, I just be tending to my fucking husband or my wife or
I feel
weird
like
shit. It's not weird, but it's weird to me because I'm not married.
So the thing that works for us is because we have a lot of mutual friends.
Okay.
So like, Will can party with my friends. I can party with his very few friends. But we have our friends. We all, like, we're a vibe. If you've never experienced
Girl.
a party with us, they're missing out, right? I mean, it is what it is. The hospitality be mad real, you know. It is what it is. But I will say, the person that Will is, if it ever came to a point where just because we got married, I had to, like, give up friendships or walk away from friendships to withstand.
Well, let me say this quick. When some people, I'm going to say this, I don't know how to say it. When some people possibly get married, they lose their identity. That's what I'm getting at here. So, I don't know how I'm saying this, but what I'm saying is, some people lose their identity. And you could be like, oh, when somebody says, who are you? Oh, I'm just a wife, I'm a mother, and it's like, no, baby, that's your job. But, like, who are you as an individual?
So I feel like parts of you lose because you become one with someone else.
Okay, I can see that. Mm-hmm.
Parts of you lose because you become one with someone else, and that becoming one with someone else comes with compromise, come with making accommodations, because you're both doing this with the ultimate goal of making one another happy, right? Or, you know, getting rid of those insecurities or whatever those things that may be bringing unnecessary or unwanted stress to your marriage, right? But as far as that maintaining individuality, I know who I am in my marriage. I know the role that I play. I know the role that I play with my friends. I play multiple roles. I'm a wife. I'm an educator.
Bitch, you're a best friend. Because, bitch, when I call, I need you to answer.
I'm a best friend.
Yeah.
I'm a regular friend. I'm a cousin. I'm a mom before anything. I'm a daughter. And I play so many different roles. I'm a student myself. I play so many different roles that I have to upkeep. You know what I'm saying? But I still haven't lost like who I am. I'm still Quenisha. Like I'm
but
still
like
okay.
A lot of women get mixed up with that shit. Like,
but I feel like I do feel like because they're probably trying to figure out like how to play their role now that they are in the wife role. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like if you have that. So for instance, like with me, I love my friends. Love my friends. Will knows that, and I'll be honest. When me and Will got married, it was an aunt. On my mama's side, I'm gonna make that clear. On my mama's side,
I ain't got no more liquor.
Who told me that because I was married, now I shouldn't be hanging out with my friends.
Girl, fuck her. Whoever it was, I'm gonna tell you like that. Because absolutely not. I feel like
that's the because
No.
I'm married, like my friend is my husband. Baby, he was my friend before that. And it's like, well, why can't I hang with my friends? Cause guess what, baby, you don't know the roller coaster of Will and Quenisha, but it was my friends who was riding with me when Will and Quenisha was out.
Cause I ain't gonna lie, brother-in-law, I love you genuinely. But if any day my sister said we finna ride down on his shit, I gotta be with the shit.
She's so phony.
I'm gonna be fake with her.
She's phony, cause she was like, and then she be like, look, I be like,
I'ma secretly hang with him.
if you and Will broke up, I'm gonna be sneaking behind your back to still hang with you. Like how you gonna play both sides of the
But I'm
fence
gonna
like
have to
that?
play both sides of the fence because that's my family. But it depends on the extent of how bad the situation played out. But for the most part, I do tell Quenisha like if shit don't work out, fuck, I'm gonna still be having to sneak.
I hope you don't be mad at me, but I'm gonna still be hanging out with Will.
Yeah, like that.
She's still gonna be hanging out with him.
Absolutely. He never lied.
Yeah, I didn't like that advice because it's like some women, I'm not gonna lie, and you don't really hear it from men, but it's mainly women. Like they give up everything to be like, oh, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm this, I'm that. But you don't ever hear a man saying, oh, I'm a father, I'm a husband, I can't hang out, I can't do this, I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't never really get that.
Will being the person he is, like he wouldn't ask me to give up my friends.
Yeah, 'cause I mean, I'm cool with all your friends.
That's fine. But if I had a friend that you didn't like,
have you ever had a friendship you didn't like?
Right.
I can't even know. I don't think so.
Cause like we be lit.
For sure, and we mainly include him. But anywho, anywho, you know, I just don't like that. I just see it more women give up their identity.
I feel like because they're trying to figure out, they may just be trying to figure out how to coexist in that marriage. Cause you know, and it could be too, being brought up in the church if they are in the church. Some women may, just like I know I have before being married. I have also heard, you know, like married women say that you shouldn't be friends with single women.
Girl,
and I disagree with that too.
Clunk the whole head together.
I have several friends who are single. I have friends who have been married and are now divorced, and I have married friends. Their story has nothing to do with mine, though.
Correct.
And I feel like, you know, things that they've probably gone through in their relationship, it has nothing to do with me. I know one of my good friends, the advice I remember, like, and this is coming from someone who was in a horrible marriage. And I won't say a name because she'll be mad that I said a name. But she was in a horrible marriage for years. And when I got married, her advice to me was, when you and Will are upset at each other, I want you to watch your wedding video. And I'm like, girl, for what? Like, what's the point, you know? And she's just like, because that'll remind you, or that'll bring back to your memory, like, even with you being upset, like, that happiness you felt on that day and all of what you felt about the reasons you're marrying that person, it will help you even in those moments when you're upset, right? Because it's like, you know, we've had times where we've been furious with one another, and it's like, you'll watch, like, it could be me so much as like hearing a wedding song, and it will bring me back to that day, back to that time, back to that, like, damn, we did that, you know, type stuff. It does help, and it was therapeutic when I did try it. Haven't been able to watch it in a while because I don't think people make DVD players no more. And I'm gonna have to find out if this video can be emailed to me, because it's on DVD, and we don't have a DVD player, and I don't think people make them.
Put that shit on the side of the computer no more.
Yes, technology is soaring.
Yeah,
but I would say thankfully that hasn't been an issue with us. Well, as far as I know, the friendship thing, I think very much so. I need my friends. You had a couple of my friends you didn't like. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm not gonna deny that.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Absolutely.
Okay.
For sure.
But you ain't stop me from kicking
I would
it
never
you just
do
be
that.
mad.
I would never do that. Ultimately, I feel like you're an adult, right? I would not stand in the way of you hanging with your friends no more than I would want you to stand in the way of me hanging. Did I like them? Hell no. But I mean, those are your friends, not mine.
But what made you not like them?
They was stupid.
Like, okay, that's his friends. So
that was just what it was.
Okay.
And ultimately, like, even I don't even know this group of friends. Probably kept them well away from me on purpose. But I think even with one of the groups of friends, shortly after losing Big Troy, Will got a DUI. And I was a little upset because y'all let my husband drive home drunk.
That is true, because baby,
friends wouldn't do that.
I'm gonna call your wife. She gonna come get you, or you gonna sleep your
Friends.
ass here.
We just did that last week. What she talking about? What she talking about?
You just did Who just did one last week?
We was all driving drunk.
It be like that. I ain't gonna lie to you. That was me yesterday at the Beyonce concert. I'm like, Lord, we gotta get home.
Y'all not gonna pull
We
me
gotta
in
get
on
home.
Who was driving drunk?
Whoever was driving with us.
What are you even
Who was
talking about?
driving?
What are you talking about?
If I was driving, I'm.
Because you know
That's
you ain't
beside the
driving me
point.
nowhere drunk.
Point is,
When have y'all gone out with me and I was drunk? To the point. Come on, y'all talking about me.
What?
I've been out with you and you was drunk driving.
When?
Yeah.
Yeah,
For one night, I most certainly remember out of everything is when one of your friends, we was at one of your friends' home, and your other friend came over there talking about how she was pregnant, so we all drinking and trying to figure out the solution.
Girl, now you talking about how many years ago?
You was no, that was one night I really, really remember you.
Yeah, and that child is about to be.
Yeah, you did good.
That child, girl,
She gonna probably be like 7 or 8. Yeah,
no, ain't no 7 or 8.
But you
My
did.
child
I feel like you really did good that night. But that's beside the point. We ain't talking about drunk driving. We made it home.
Making a
But that was, yeah, you know.
Nonetheless, they let my man drive home.
I feel like that was bogus.
And
Yeah.
friends,
don't do that.
Clearly, y'all talking about years. Y'all, I don't know what y'all talking about. No last weekend type stuff. Y'all lying. Y'all probably were, and I was driving y'all, cause that's usually
Baby
how
girl,
life has been.
I was drunk for Beyonce concert, and I said I gotta get these people home. So, and Amanda started talking to me, and I was good to go.
He was lit.
Yeah.
But anyway, my sister isn't here.
But friendship.
But yeah, so he
Yeah.
definitely had a few friends that I didn't care for. But he has friends that I do
That you
care for.
Okay.
And like when we throw events, I do make sure I hit them up.
Yeah, you do.
Do I not?
Yeah, for sure.
I hit them up, and you know they come through or whatever. But I will say, like we haven't had that. That hasn't been the friendship thing or us losing like our individuality has not been an issue.
But that's a good thing. That's a good
because again, I love my friends, and I wouldn't give my. I'm sorry, I wouldn't give my friends up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm happy he wouldn't make me give my friends up. Cause I had a friend who told me. She gonna know who I'm talking about. I was bothered by that. My friend told me if her husband, if he was holding everything down and he told her she could not have whatever friends, she wouldn't be friends with him. And I did not like that. That hurt my feelings. Just like
excuse me, brother-in-law. But these bitches be tweaking because ain't no fucking way.
When she see me, then she gonna call.
That's okay. She can call you because they don't want the bitch to call me on three-way because
I didn't like that.
That's
hurt
not
my
okay.
Because it's like your spouse shouldn't even put you in that situation.
Exactly.
I don't feel
exactly.
Like
and you need the balance though because it's like my man cutting up or my man pissing me off or my man doing X, Y, and Z.
Time with my friends.
Yes, and I need to just be kicking it with my friends. It ain't all about you and these damn kids all the time. Like I need my freedom a little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah.
You know.
Nonetheless, whatever.
Okay. Well, is there anything else you guys would like to talk about?
Get all in all nitty-gritty.
I ain't get too much of y'all. Okay, let's go to the turn. No, I'm just I didn't get too much of y'all business. I tried to keep it, you know, PG a little bit.
Okay.
And I do thank you guys for coming and sharing the information that you guys have shared with us on tonight. And everybody, thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in to Pretty Lips Talk
podcast. Make sure y'all share,
share. Yes.
Comment.
Let us know what y'all think
about it. This one of my behind the scenes person over there with the yellow shirt. That's one of my behind the scenes person, y'all.
My dope brother-in-law sitting over there.
For sure. Y'all can't see him, but you know.
Y'all can't see him, but he there.
We definitely shout him out. But I thank you guys for
shout out to all of the married people out there trying to survive. Gang, gang.
Shout out to those who might possibly
shout out to the single people out there having good sex and living. Gang, gang.
No, because honestly, that's a good thing. Having good sex and living. Because, you know, it works.
Stay with Jesus.
Okay. Okay, let me not get into that. So thank you guys for attending Pretty Lips Talk One tonight, and I definitely enjoyed the conversation with you guys. Thank you for sharing all of the information that you decided to share with us one tonight. And I hope you guys enjoyed yourself. So thank you for tuning in to Pretty Lips Talk.
Bye, y'all.
See y'all next round.